What's up, Dunwoody? Welcome back to the podcast. It's all about Dunwoody, Georgia. My name is Matt Weber. Show is brought to you by Dr. Brett Friedman with Village Orthodontics and Discover Dunwoody. And Discover Dunwoody is a big part of the hotel scene around here. And IHG is a big part of the hotel and hospitality scene in Atlanta. And you guys were gracious enough to be our platinum sponsor for the parade this year, which is really amazing because we can't do the parade without sponsors. So thought you have you guys on today. Colin, who are you with IHG? I guess we'll start there.
Yeah, no, thanks, Matt. Great to be on. Great to be part of the 250th celebration of our country and right here in Dunwoody. I'm Colin Macdonald. I'm Senior Vice President and Managing Director of U.S. and Canada Franchise Hotels for IHG. So what does that mean? We have about 4,500 hotels in the Americas region, about 4,300 in the U.S. and Canada. And all of those are franchise hotels across 21 brands. And I've got a great team of people that help support those franchise owners to make sure that our brands are being delivered every day.
Yeah. And IHG, I think people in Dunwoody know IHG because of the Ravinia. And you have your headquarters right behind Ravinia. Is that right?
That's right. We've actually had our Americas headquarters here for more than 30 years.
Really?
So yeah, okay. It's where we've kind of grown our business, and many of our colleagues have settled here. I think we have about 1,300 corporate colleagues that office out of this place. But
I know a few of them actually.
Yeah,
and they're real happy there. So
yeah, it's been great. And I think not just our office, but we actually have 5 hotels in the Dunwoody area and 80 in Atlanta Metro. And so this has become more than just a place where we've got a corporate footprint. It's actually a place where we have a lot of business, and there's been a lot going on in Atlanta in the last 30 years.
Yeah, and I've seen you're giving back and doing sponsorships and interacting with the community a lot more. So we appreciate that in Dunwoody. And Discover Dunwoody is our sponsor, and so they love you guys. Mark Galvin speaks very highly of you. If people that work at IHG can kind of get an idea of our city from taking the trolley bus tour, which I've been the MC of a few times, and that's a lot of fun. Okay, well, you've been in Atlanta for a long time. What does it mean to be part of the Atlanta community?
Yeah, I mean, you hit on a lot of it. I think the benefit of being a part of a hospitality company is that our hotels around the world are integral to the communities that they're in. So even more so for us with our headquarters here, our America's headquarters here, we've tried to participate in the Metro Atlanta Chamber, which we have for years. We do a lot around anti-human trafficking right now with the mayor's office and the governor's office. And then just generally as Atlanta and Dunwoody has grown, we really try to participate and make sure that people know who we are as a city, what we have here. And attract more people, not just to come visit, but also to come and stay and live. And it's actually how I found Atlanta. I'm not in Dunwoody. I'm actually in Brookhaven, but I'm allowed to say that on the podcast. You can always edit it out. But I found Atlanta, kind of fortuitously moving from Chicago, thinking it was just going to be the deep South, and I would be back in Chicago in 3 years, and that was 15 years ago. So, wife and kids here now that are growing up, and this is their home. And I think I've heard so many stories like that through either the colleagues that work at IHG or other people that I've met around Dunwoody or the greater Atlanta area. And so we've invested a ton in the community here as a business, but I think even more so, each of the people I know at the business have invested in their own way in their own communities around the metro.
All right, quick time out. You thinking about selling your home this year? Nah, probably not. Statistically, like 10% of you are. And if that's you, I would love to be a realtor right now. If that's not you, plug into my What's Up Dunwoody Facebook pages and groups. You can follow Top End ATL on TikTok and Instagram. Let me help keep you informed on what's going on around town. And then when you do need an agent, you know right where to find me. Or maybe you know somebody who would like to move to the area. You can send them some of What's Up Dunwoody stuff and say something like, this guy would be a fun agent to work with. Because it's true. I'm actually super fun to work with. And I know this city and I love this city more than the next guy. So if you ever need a real estate question answered, a neighborhood opinion, or just help connecting the dots around Dunwoody, hit me up. And thanks for listening to the podcast. This episode and every episode of the show is brought to you by Discover Dunwoody, Dunwoody's destination marketing organization that is focused on promoting the city, supporting local businesses, and driving visitors here. And if you follow What's Up Dunwoody on social, you've already seen a lot of their stuff. I'm constantly sharing their amazing videos that they put out because, frankly, they're better than I can make. So why not share theirs? The events page on their website is another one of the best resources in the city, and way more people should be using it. It's constantly updated. So bookmark whatsupdunwoody.com/events and look at it once a week because there's always something fun happening here. You just don't know where to find it. Well, we know you're getting into Dunwoody now. What else do you do around the Atlanta area? What other kind of partnerships do you do that people might know about?
Yeah, so we've got some great partnerships with universities like Georgia State, Kennesaw State University, Morehouse College, Clark Atlanta. And I've been personally participating with Kennesaw State. And it's just great to see students work towards a hospitality career path. And now we're employing some of those students here and in our franchise hotels. We offer a summer internship program, which provides some hands-on work experience across many different functions here at IHG. And Atlanta's really been a hub for that. I mean, we've seen those university hospitality programs really grow over the last 5 to 10 years, and we've been part of riding that wave. Another big thing that we do in the community is around anti-human trafficking, which is a huge issue, kind of cuts across every community, and we're really involved in combating trafficking here in Atlanta, especially even with the World Cup. I mean, unfortunately, some of these major events are kind of a time where you've got to be really vigilant against what might be going on with people doing the various things like human trafficking. And so we're part of the Atlanta Alliance Against Trafficking, which is partnering with the mayor's office and other government agencies, businesses, and organizations, UPS, Delta, to raise awareness and just combat human trafficking. And we activate a lot during these major events, right? Whether it's Super Bowls or World Cup or NCAA March Madness. It's really a time where we can raise a lot of awareness. We also partner with Wellspring Living on the same type of a cause, which is more focused on supporting women who have experienced trafficking. And you hear some heartbreaking stories, but part of fixing that is making sure that when that happens to someone, we help them get back on their feet. And that's what Wellspring Living is really, really an advocate for. And then obviously it goes all the way up. I think everyone that hears about this cause really cares about it. But one advocate that's been really, really a powerful voice has been First Lady Marty Kemp. So we work with the Georgia Attorney General's office and First Lady Marty Kemp on a lot of different human trafficking efforts and activations, and not just raising awareness, but also doing things like we just got a bill passed through the Georgia legislative session that requires training for anyone in the hospitality or vacation rental space on signs of human trafficking. And so I think it's really been a keen focus of ours. And as you know, we are part of the hotel business. And so we find it to be our duty to make sure that the people that are running our hotels are aware, because unfortunately, sometimes bad actors thinks that that's a place that they can come to do their bad acting. And we want to make sure that our hotels are never associated with it.
And I'm sure that World Cup and stuff like that, big events, really ramp that up. Have you seen a big increase in traffic? Oh, not human trafficking, but just people staying in the hotels during the World Cup?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I think it's been really interesting to follow. I think there was a big, how big is this going to be? And you try to get ahead of it. And with our business, you try to get all these booking ins early through group or FIFA blocks to kind of secure the revenue. What we've seen more recently is that it really depends on which team is playing where. I mean, I'm sure you've seen some of the Instagram or TikTok feeds about the Scottish team and the fans in Boston, with the cones and drinking Boston out of beer. And so there's been some real pockets of demand across the country. Atlanta, we've got a game coming up. We've got a semifinal game as well. So we really hope that those games are going to be a boon. And people didn't know and still don't know who's playing in some of those later stages. And so until that's decided, the fans can't buy tickets and travel for their team. And so we're really tracking that and we've got a whole like AI dashboard on the odds of all the games and where teams are going to be to help hotels understand demand patterns. But it's been really cool. I think we've really activated well around the World Cup. A lot of our hotels have like these fake soccer goals, and all the flags in there. And so it's been a great experience for our guests wherever they show up.
Yeah, I love what it's done to Atlanta and the country, and people from all over the world just viewing America in a different way. Like it's just excitement all around.
Yeah, it's
and
Atlanta. And like our teams actually made it out of the group stages, so
right,
also great.
Yeah, so I'm going to. I went to the Congo Uzbekistan game on Saturday.
Oh, wow, I was there too.
Oh, really? Yeah, it was a lot of fun. My kids bought $12 Uzbekistan jerseys, and we sat down in the middle of this Congo section. And by the end of the game, we were Congo fans. Like they were so much fun. And so I'm excited about seeing. And I know England's gonna, roll in deep too on Wednesday. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. And I feel like Atlanta has handled it really well. Like the hotels, just the city in general. They put a lot of work into it leading up to it, but since then, I
don't know what your commute was like down to that Congo Uzbekistan game. It took us 28 minutes from Brookhaven.
Really?
We left at like 5:30, but I was shocked. They had a lot of roads closed. They were pushing traffic different ways, but on any given day, that ride usually takes an hour. So
yeah, I love hearing that because we're driving on Wednesday. We tried to do Marta on Saturday, and it was rough. There was a lot of people on there. They're handling it pretty well too. I've heard that Marta doubled over the last few weeks, the amount of ridership. So I guess they're doing a good job.
Well, I think, with the way we've invested in those assets for entertainment, Mercedes-Benz, the Battery, we've really been able to host some world-class events. And it's no surprise that we're getting, so much of the World Cup in a semifinal game. And I think there's just more to come. I know there is. I don't know exactly what the events are, but I know, Dan Corso and the Sports Council has everything lined up, and that should only be a boon for some of the kind of areas around Atlanta for people to come and explore.
Yeah.
But back to community impact and what we're doing in the market. We've also got leaders that are sitting on Atlanta Committee for Progress. Our CEO Jolien Boulay sits on that. The Metro Atlanta Chamber. Our SVP of Communications, Tom Curry, sits on that. The Atlanta Convention and Visitors Bureau, the Atlanta Sports Council. And so we're really, as a business, actually, when I started here 12 years ago, it was kind of a running joke of like, you would tell someone where you worked, you'd say IHG, and they say, oh, what's that? And then you say, oh, it's like Intercontinental Hotels. And the Intercontinental in Buckhead. And, you had to really explain who we were. Right?
Higher.
There's no there's a Mr. Marriott and a Mr. Hilton, but there isn't like a Mr. IHG.
Right.
We actually have it's a really interesting story of how the business came about. There's actually 4 different founders. I won't go into all the details that have kind of acquired into the business. So it's got a rich history, but now that we've been able to really accelerate our business, we went from 10 to 21 brands over the last 12 years. We've really marketed our master brand, IHG Hotels and Resorts, which you can kind of see behind me. It's been great to talk to people around the city who know who we are now, right? And we've made inroads in the community in order to make not just progress for the city, but progress for how we want to grow in this city.
Yeah. I feel like Crowne Plaza was always probably a big name, but it became a big name to me because I've seen what you guys did with Ravinia. We've recorded a couple of podcasts over there, and it's gorgeous. And like Parkwoods, is that what it's called? That restaurant?
Parkwoods, you got it.
Yeah. The effort you guys put into around Christmas time or the holidays, I guess, the backwoods are all lit up. And I mean, it's a cool scene. And so if people in Dunwoody, that's who I'm speaking to, I guess, go there, have like a night out without the kids. There's drinks and you can sit out under you've got all those trees out there, and it's just really nice. Like I really, really like it there.
It's amazing what a multi-million-dollar renovation will do for a building, but it was an intentional investment with partners of ours in an area that we host a lot of clients and a lot of people.
Is this to show off the brand? Is this the feature?
No, this is like what the brand is and is in many places now, and it was kind of one of the first assets that I think got really renovated, into what the future of Crowne Plaza is now. But it's it also goes back to just having great people. There's a lady there, the GM is named Sharon Kilmartin, and she has been there, gosh, probably the whole time. I've been 10 years at least, and she is kind of the lifeblood behind a lot of the way that things are activated there. The team that's on property, the staff, and just does an absolutely fantastic job. Actually, I've been over there for a few meetings in the last 6 months, more than a few, but their food and beverage program has really stepped it up a notch. I think I went over there one night and they had like sushi and caviar, and I think it was a very special event that night. So they don't do that every night, but it's surprising, right? Because some hotels can kind of just do the old banqueting serving. You got bread, potatoes, but they've done a great job of stepping it up.
Yeah, and there's a lot of hotels in the area that people can go there and just have a nice meal. I mean, that's some of the best food around, and I think people forget about that. So Dunwoody, go support those local hotels that are bringing all of this business into town, because there's some good spots. I want to give a shout out to all of our Dunwoody 4th of July parade sponsors who we couldn't afford to do the parade without. So it's presented by Dunwoody Homeowners Association and Rough Draft Atlanta, with platinum sponsors IHG. That one's huge. Gold sponsors are City of Dunwoody, Big Play, Dino Woody, and Discover Dunwoody. Silver sponsors are Atlanta Academy, Dunwoody Animal Medical Center, Dunwoody Tavern, Thomas I Group, Cary Arias, Crema, Rotary Club of Dunwoody, United Bank Shares, Tilly Mill Goodyear, and Briggs Vision Group. And bronze sponsors are Dunwoody Senior Baseball, Dunwoody World of Beverages, Fun Woody, Joey D's, Karate Atlanta, Village Orthodontics, What's Up Dunwoody, Hollywood Feed, Custom Signs Today, Dunwoody Gallery, Dunwoody Pharmacy, and the Robin Blast Group. These are businesses that are supporting our community, so show them some love. All right, so what else do you want to get into?
4th of July?
4th of July, yeah. Tell me what you guys have planned for 4th of July. Now you're speaking my language. Yeah,
well, we've got a lot planned. We actually, one of my friends and colleagues here, Dan Klein, kind of came to me, 6 months ago. Was like, "Hey, Dunwoody's doing this big parade." I'm like, "What do you mean?" Like, I didn't realize how big it was.
Yeah, he lives in the area, right?
Yeah. He's a great guy, and so he's like, "We got to get involved." And he's in a part of our business that's really unique to IHG, but extremely special when you talk about what it is. We have a part of our business called IHG Army Hotels. And so across the country, we have 20 or 30 hotels that are on post, on base. And they are there. They're branded, Holiday Inn Express, Staybridge, Candlewood. You can't get in unless you have a pass to get on post. So they are there to serve those who serve us. And it's really amazing to see. We actually manage all of those hotels, which means we run them. And we have like a 700 room Holiday Inn Express that serves like 10 Holiday Inn Express breakfasts, all at once, as opposed to the one that we would serve in a 100 room hotel. And, but those properties have really been a way for us, not just to give back to the service community and the military and Army community, but also a way for us to make sure that we understand how to operate in a different environment. And it's been, a really, really good part of our business. So back to 4th of July, near and dear to our heart because of what we do every day in our business. But Dan came to me and said, we got to support this parade. And, we're going to be there with bells on. I think we got some great giveaways, some
awesome
point vouchers for IHG One Rewards. So you can come stay in our hotels. And see us at the parade.
Nice. So if you're at the parade, make sure you grab their freebies, their handouts. The Army Hotels, it is a good tie-in because we've really tried to get a lot of veterans there for this 250th, anniversary parade. It's our 50th, so it started back on the 200th, I guess, 50 years ago. So this is our 50th parade. And so we are trying to, give to the veterans and make sure there's as many people there as possible. So we appreciate you guys supporting that. Yeah. And I would assume you have a lot of people living in this Atlanta area. You got probably a lot of people traveling to the area, but I know a bunch of my friends that work at IHG and they're all really happy there. So you guys are doing a good job with that.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, 1,300 colleagues that work out of this office. So all of them live somewhere in the area. Many of them in Dunwoody, I know for a fact. And it's part of the reason why I love being at this business is it really is a hospitality business. And so the folks that work here genuinely care about each other, care about the community. And many of them have started their careers working in hotels, and making sure that they were taking care of guests. And that's kind of in our blood when it comes to what we do at IHG. But that only creates a great community around us, right? And so there's a ton in the Atlanta area, and then we have people coming to town from our London offices or franchise owners. We actually have a design center as well, which is located over on the Upper West Side in kind of a warehouse district, but really cool. We've got at any point in time, 8 to 10 brands kind of built out there, the guest rooms and some lobby space. So it's kind of a showcase for us to bring people through and they can see a lot of stuff that we do all in one venue.
That's great. Yeah, the hospitality, the type of person that gets into hospitality. So I own a restaurant, and I just, it's just got a special place in my heart. It's just a different type of person that decides to just be in hospitality and, have to deal with a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
It's tough sometimes.
What restaurant do you own?
It's in Lawrenceville. It's
Okay.
a little ways away from here, a little pizza place. But, it's hospitality people just have a special place in my heart. And you get to deal with a lot of them, I'm sure.
Yeah. It's, we're there for people showing up to hotels that are sometimes going through something terrible or celebrating something great. And then everything in between, business trips, road trips. And so,
it's a stressful time showing up in a new place,
Yeah.
Nice to have some loving people there.
Our team makes the magic work. And, like you would do if you were hosting someone at your house, we try to treat every guest like they're one of our own.
Yeah. And Ravinia had, last time I was there, at least, they had these little like pods in your lobby where you could go and just chill, and it like takes all the sound out of things. You had a lot of cool technology there. I remember last time, and that was 5 years ago. Well, thanks a lot for giving back to the city of Dunwoody. We appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you guys at the parade, and thanks for letting us make it happen.
Yeah. Thank you, Matt. Great to speak to you. Enjoy your 4th of July and hope to see you at the parade.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Colin.
All right.